shining a beacon on the bazaar.
Kid.
Oh, it's grand, Skip, grand.
Oh, ever since we sort of took the light out of the top, you know what I mean, and we just sort of moved into our little man pad, it's been brilliant.
The views is 360, Skip.
Oh, I love it. It's so nice. Just being able to look out over at sea and not be bothered by big flashing light.
Exactly. And look, there's no one. I can't see anyone. Well, that's my favourite thing.
Yeah, no, the last person I saw was that time, that big shipwreck. Yeah. Don't know why that happened.
I was going to say, they were screaming a lot, weren't they? Carrying on, drowning.
Quite a little bit. Storm came though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it, swept them away. Nice and tidy.
Nice and tidy. That's a good thing about the sea. It's tidy.
It cleans itself.
Yeah, do you want another beer?
Yeah,
I'm going to be a little sody pop.
Yeah, you do. Yeah. You're still best behaved.
And I'm glad to see that you've got us both on lovely big cherry cigars that you brought back from Thailand.
I'm fully addicted.
Yeah. And we can smoke indoors. Because it's just me and you and the listeners at Kraken Cove, the podcast that shines a beacon onto the bazaar. And I'm Matt.
I'm a Benny.
And we're a pair of little carefree bachelors.
Basically, yeah.
Living here in Cove, living our best life.
Oh, man.
All fun. Oh, it's just the best, isn't it?
It is. Cherry cigar, sat in the sun, little like a cat, drinking my beer. I don't want no else except for stories.
Yeah, except for stories. So the thing I need, there's a couple of things I want to cover first of all. Is we need to get Robo Pete.
Yeah,
because he's just been dropping. He's been a right sulk.
He's just like tucked away. I hardly see him. He's getting weird. He's getting very strange.
And there's one thing I wanted to cover a little bit was you sent me a photo.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
So Benny sent me a photo, and it was Robo Pete's brother. What's his name?
Mark.
Right, Robo Mark.
Yeah. Robo Mark.
Right.
Yeah.
And what was it? Tell the listeners about his latest purchase.
Well, apparently he's not going on holiday this year because he's buying his wife's visa or some fucking messy affair. So he's gone out patrolling, thinking, right, I need to spend, I've got about 600 in the kitty. I'm going to buy it. Yeah, he's thinking, right, what can I spend it on? You know what I mean? I've bought the visa. I've got 600 spare.
Well, a bit of a pause. If you had 600 quid, is there anything you'd be buying in particular?
No, I'm pretty self-sufficient. I'm more cigars.
Sex workers.
That'd be nice, yeah. A nice sex worker. That'd be nice,
wouldn't it?
Help the economy out of it.
Well, that's it. That's a trickle-down economy. Literally, in your case. It doesn't get up as hard anymore, does it?
I don't know about you. But no, he went out thinking, right, I'm going to treat myself. He went out, he thought, right, I haven't really got anything particular in mind to see if anything catches my eye.
Oh, yeah.
So
now
he went out.
Coat or some lovely shoes.
That's it. He started at charity shops first. I think he was trying to get a bag. It was 600.
600 quid.
I'm going to say you could buy the whole
charity shop.
And the workers. And he saw it. He saw something for, I think, 590.
All right. Yeah. So on budget.
On budget, and it's a lovely a Victorian's ship's monkey. Because I had it in text form first off Robo, with all his swearing and carrying on. I thought it was a typo at first. I was thinking, what could
ship's
monkey? A Victorian ship monkey.
And do you know what one is?
Well, I do now because I've seen the hideous photo. Do you want me to show you it?
Well, I have seen the photo.
Oh, you've seen it,
yeah.
It's absolutely disgusting.
So basically, it looks either mummified or stuffed.
It's definitely taxidermied.
Right, it's a taxidermy's monkey, and it's done like a little weird sailor.
Yeah, it's got a little suit on, like top half. It's horrible belly sticking out. There's not much monkey there. I think it's about 20% monkey skin.
Yeah, I do as well.
And the rest of it, there's marbles in its eyes.
It's 80% nightmare.
Yeah. It looks like human teeth in it. They're definitely not monkey teeth.
No,
they just look like they're pulled out of a
child's teeth.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It looks like
pulled them out of a dead kid.
Yeah.
Shoved him in a monkey's mouth.
Glued him. What a job that would be.
Yeah, so we will be posting a picture of this on our social media.
He's frightening, really frightening. I think he's got a glass case. I don't know. He had it picked up at one bit, but I think I don't know if the glass case.
They'll have to keep it in a glass case, something like that. Otherwise,
absolutely,
because moisture get into it, it'll just degrade.
Once it near the TV, I've heard. You know what I mean?
So you can see it.
Yeah, all the time, and it can see you all the time. Those glass beady marbles.
As I said to you though, when we discussed this taxidermied monkey, I mean, we've mentioned quite a lot the monkey's paw as a story. It's a great horror story.
It really is a good one.
Yeah. So look out. I can't remember the writer of it now. Actually, you know what I mean?
It's Mr. James.
It's not M.R. James.
Isn't it?
I don't think. No, I don't think it is the monkey's paw.
It's worth a look.
Yeah.
Someone. If it is M.R. James, you got to suck that monkey's tail
Yeah, well.
all the way down.
So the writer of The Monkey's Paw is an English author called W. Jacobs. Yeah, and he did like a collection of short stories called The Lady of the Barge, which sounds quite interesting. So I've probably read more of Jacobs' work, but I know The Monkey's Paw is the most famous one and the most chilling.
It's
a
really,
chilling
really
story.
good, and the knocks and everything on the door. It's just fucking awful.
So no spoilers.
Yeah.
But with that, I mean, to be fair, I mean, I have to say I was inspired by Monkey's Paw, some of the horrors I've written, things like that. But
I think so much has been like influenced.
Oh yeah,
by
it was an absolute pivotal story in
definitely.
the horror genre sort of thing, the Victorian horror genre. But the idea that you'd have such a monkey in your house.
Yeah.
Now, the next thing I wanted to go on was a picture you sent me.
The picture behind.
Of the picture behind. So basically, the owner of the monkey, right, Robot Mark, right, he's holding this monkey with sort of astonished pride on his face.
Yeah, he's happy. Isn't he?
Yeah, and he's got, it looks like a hand-painted...
Yeah, he's painted it himself.
Has he really?
Yeah, it's good, isn't it, to see he's done it himself.
Well, it's a fantastic picture of himself... as a muscle man at the beach, wearing a big yellow inflatable ring round his stomach, holding a bucket and spade. What the fuck is going on there?
It's the mind of the robots. They're absolutely mental.
What gets me right, we've known Robot Pete for quite a while now, haven't we? Right?
Over the years,
we've known him for a good old while now. Why the fuck have you never mentioned this bloke to me?
I never mentioned that.
Never.
He's on another level.
I've just found possibly the most interesting person.
You'd love him because I think he's done a lot with Thames as well. We were exploring the Thames with his friend a bit ago.
Mudlarking.
I don't know that, or a little boat or something. They got quite into it, but then I think he met his bird, and then very interesting.
Where does he live?
In London. Yeah.
Fucking unreal.
I can't remember what he does for a job, unless it's like rowing around the Thames, maybe on his little boat. You know,
getting gold or something, or pulling gold teeth out of corpses.
On top of my head, I can't remember anything else, and there is loads of weird stories. You know what I mean? He's a very, very strange.
We might be able to interview.
He is, because he's just in Timberland. Satsuma story is really good. You know what I mean?
Timberland or Timberlake?
Timberlake, yeah.
Right. He's a writer as well, then.
No, I don't know.
Oh no, he just has a story about it.
About it. Yeah, he does a lot of like 16-bit animation and stuff like that. You know, like old school. He does some really
what
good.
An interesting guy.
He's very, very strange.
So how did Robo end up like that?
I don't know. Like you say, Robo must have had a knock on his head.
Yeah, that's it, or several.
Yeah.
I know he needs a knock on it. So that's just a little snippet.
We'll post a picture, obviously, because it's a very grim monkey.
And we'd like you to know if you can send us a picture you might have seen which can in any way match this absolute fucking lunacy of this photograph.
Imagine the smell of it.
Get permission so we can show his face.
Yes, I will do.
Yeah. So get some permission from him, and then also when you do, ask if we can interview him for the code.
Yeah.
Just because he's a complete freak.
I'll get a clearer picture of the picture as well.
And the fact he's painted that.
It's beautiful. He's a style, isn't it? That it looks like I've seen.
And it's massive.
Like that. Yeah.
And he's how much time have him painting himself?
That's a big muscle, man. Is there any more paintings? You know, it could be like totally opening Pandora's with this one.
It could be entirely. So watch that space, guys. We've got that's a little bit of something to look out for. But in the meantime, me and you are going to sit back in our big lazy boys, and we're going to get cast in.
Oh, please.
Now this is something we've covered, but I just thought it's worth another mention. The mystery monoliths.
Another
has appeared. So we've got 2 fresh monoliths now. So
Yeah,
we've got
yeah.
one in the Colorado desert, I believe. Now, I might have this a little bit wrong. I might be a bit mixed up, so please, listeners, do sort of forgive us here.
Yeah.
I know there's one appeared in Colorado, one is in the Nevada desert. So there's one appeared, it's near Las Vegas.
Wow.
That's the latest one's appeared.
Proper desert again, yeah.
I have also heard both monoliths have been removed now.
Ooh.
Now, the first one that's been removed is in northern Colorado because it was on a dairy farm, the Morning Fresh Dairy Farm, right? That's where it was on, but they had to take it down because there were so many people coming to see it. People were just thousands of people driving onto the dairy farm to come and have a look at this monolith.
Nightmare.
But that's the other reason why they took the other one down, is because far too many people were just arriving, turning up, wanting
Middle
to
of
see
desert?
I think it's in an area, probably is, but even if it's in the middle of the desert, you're causing problems.
Yeah.
Colorado desert, I think that's like, is that the home of Death Valley? Oh no, Nevada is.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Colorado is still a remote, deadly
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
So you've got thousands of people rocking up in
running out in the desert.
it's a hazard, it's dangerous. So I think they thought, right, let's just take this fucking thing down. The other thing is you have to remember as well, with mirrored things in the desert, sunlight on mirrors can focus and cause fires.
I was seeing one other day, blokes like just literally holding his wooden furniture set, and there was like some like glass, thick, I don't know, or an ashtray or something. He just completely set fire to everything because of the sunshine.
Well, I think it was one of the Greek myths, wasn't it? I don't know if you've seen this. No. It was like there was a battle was won.
Oh yes.
Yeah, with mirrors.
Yeah.
And I think it was an entire army with polished shields. Focused the beam of light onto ships and set fire to the ships.
Yeah.
And I saw an experiment where they tried it in like a base and like a little cratery kind of thing, and they got all these mirrors, focused them all on one point in the middle, and it was a laser.
Wow.
They just made this.
Yeah, and it does work.
Yeah,
Jesus
it does work.
Christ.
So one mirror in the desert is probably quite a dangerous thing to do. But I've been having a little bit of a think about the whole thing of the metal monoliths, and everybody says to me, oh yeah, but the man-made out there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not put up by aliens, they're put up by men and stuff. But cast your eyes back to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, where everybody's sort of making the mountain, the devil's, devil's
mashed
tower.
potato mountain.
Yeah, and everybody's doing these paintings, making these drawings, doing this stuff. It's humans doing these things, but they kind of seem to be driven to do them.
That's interesting. Yeah, what is spurring them on to do it?
So they might think, oh, this is a nice little stunt we're doing. It's an art project. It's this or that. The reality is they're crafting and fashioning at expense a metal monolith and putting them in the desert. Now, if you were an alien, what's the best way of doing things, right? If you had way to influence other people, perhaps, so you could have some sort of like psychic ability or whatever you had, is it easier to take a spaceship down, land it in the desert, put up a metal monolith and fly away again? Or just go, wah, 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 send psychic messages to people to build these monoliths?
That's an interesting... I like that, because it is the time, money and obsessiveness to do it, you know what I mean? And it's an old joke as well, isn't it, in a sense, what they're actually getting out of it, unless they've got a need to do it. Yeah.
Well, there was a philosophical question that I was listening to, and it was the idea, like, if God, is the master of our galaxy or universe, or however you want to call it, you know what I mean? Does each of the other galaxies have their own God? Is it the same universal, literally universal God? There's a single creator, or is it these people are in control of that one area? So, for example, if you do have one alien or one sort of like higher power who has almost manufactured, if you like, life on planets, which is what we're saying. We're saying there's a higher being of some. If you talk about God, even though you're talking about God, if you believe in God, what you believe in is a higher being who created a living place for humans to be.
The Garden of Eden.
The Garden of Eden, right? Now, if you think about, I've been reading a lot of sci-fi with about terraforming. So we're looking at, we're seeing all these planets where nobody can live, right? What you're doing then is, I saw Interstellar, the movie, and what they're doing then is they're looking for planets where humans can live on, you know what I mean? That is what a higher being has done. It's looked around, it's found a thing, it's triggered life. Now, I don't think it's gone in and literally started manufacturing zebras and things. If a god exists, or if this higher being that's created life or sorted life, because this is what people believe, something has created life.
Yeah.
If it has, it started with the primordial soup. It's created this...
I think they're more into, not into evolution, not God botherers and that.
Well, they're not, but...
I kind of like the idea that, he's so silly that he's sat there with his beard, thinking, I know, I'll make a giraffe.
It's a craft project.
Yeah. He's proper, he's God, he loves it. Down to ants and all blue whales and shit.
Yeah, he just
went, ping, and everything we're done. There. 7 days.
They had a nap on the Sunday, whatever, you know what I mean? And it's and this is, I'm not sure it's the Saturday or the Sunday, I don't know, because the Jews believe it's Saturday arrested.
Yeah.
Friday was the last day. This is why Friday evenings are such an important thing to the Jewish family.
Yeah.
It's because that's the end of the day, sort of the end of creation sort of thing. So then you have a rest on the Saturday, which is their equivalent of Sunday.
Exactly.
That's why apparently a lot of calendars start on a Sunday.
Ah, right.
Is to do with that, you know what I mean? It's almost like an Old Testament-y kind of thing to do. But that's by the by. See, if there is a God, and we've witnessed evolution, the creation of life, because I'm not sure life can just spontaneously happen. I don't think it just goes.
But if you're God, you can just go ping. There's a fucking monkey.
but by saying if it's a creationist God, for example, if we're arguing that does explain when people turn around and say, well, why, it's like the old Hannibal Lecter sort of thing, God brought down the roof of a church and all the children, what sort of God would do that,
Which is true.
Yeah, which is true, but it's that thing of where we haven't got kind of influence of any kind. He's set life going. And you wouldn't influence that sort of thing. It's the same thing as like a wildlife photographer sort of filming something and observing like a little baby chick of some little creature sort of dying, and all they need to do is go over and give it some water or give it some food, and they just film it till it dies. Yeah. It's that observation of what's going on in the world.
He's probably just out there wanking at us. Dirty bastard.
Let's see how those animals are getting on. Oh, there's some naked ones. Look at those straight. Look at the
Matthew
tits on that.
Look at Matthew in the bathroom. Dirty boy.
Go on, lad. Give it some pasty.
And that's when you see a comet, it's just him shooting off.
Yeah, but, so that's the thing for me, is that, if we are sort of created by an alien or a higher being, I think if it could be something alien of any kind, then I think what's happened is they've triggered life in somewhere, and he's just evolving and forming and forming and forming and forming and making and changing and adapting. That's it. But now we're at a point, something's changing, where one species, even if it was like termites, if it was some sort of reptilian, something like that, which was starting to tip the Earth in a very dangerous direction. Why is it happening now that the people say, right, what we need to do is start building these monoliths all over the planet? Is it a time to sort of say, this is a trigger, there's a trigger point where there's all these things...
You have to bring it back to the movie, haven't you? You just got to bring it back to the start and the end of it,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they touched it, didn't they? Do we need higher shit now? Because it's just so rubbish.
I think it's almost like an alert to say, we need a bit of help now.
Yeah.
We've fucked things up. Or, I think there's another thing could be argued about, right? What is the symptom of what's going on the planet? So, all the sort of pollution.
Like fucking chaos, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, the observable thing externally is global warming. So what you're seeing from outer space is you're seeing the world warm up.
Yeah.
Something's causing that warming. Now, that, similar to sort of like when the original story of the monolith, I think it was called by Arthur C. Clarke, that's the first one before 2001 came about. Yeah, that's the sci-fi story it's based on.
Yeah.
And what it was, we observed something on the moon, or I think it was, and so we created these ships and flew to the moon, and we found the monolith.
Yeah.
And as we found it and got to it, and I think we either touched it or something like that, a trigger was set. And a signal was given off.
Right, they've got to that stage.
We've got to the stage where we've left the planet, and as we've left the planet, we're in danger now.
Yeah.
So it's time for whatever the signal's given off to say, oh, they're awake. And they're coming. Right? And I think that could be the possibility as well. The fact that, they're looking at these planets, they know the temperatures, know how everything's going. Somebody fog. We have just noticed that the Earth, the inhabited planet Earth, is warming. And then they might say, oh, we know why that's happening. It's because they've reached a level of technology where they're creating and making and they're able to actually be at a point where they can affect their entire planet.
It's bad, isn't
and
it?
it's time for them to step in and say, time out, boys.
Laser beam them, quickly.
You've got the tech. Well, no, I think it could be the other way. It could be the
give us more education to stop being
you're
dickheads.
at the next stage now.
Yeah.
We know this is a natural progression, is to make this mess of the planet. And then say, right, because you're technologically advanced enough to do this, we can now step in and say, without having to do too much, like, it's not like they're going to humans who are knocking two stones together. They're going to technologically advanced humans who know physics and everything about it, and say, right, okay, you're at that stage where you're almost ready to join the club. What's the club?
Maybe they've already been, though. I don't know. It's fucking bollocks, isn't it?
That's some deep thought there, right? I'm talking about monoliths signalling out of space and things like this, and yours is all bollocks.
It's all bollocks. I think they're doing it for attention. I don't know. I like that idea of, like, in Call of Cthulhu, they do that. The sensitive ones, the poets and the painters and all that sort of stuff know there's something going on. They start reaching out for it. So it's a great angle for that. Monoliths thinking, we're crying up to a higher level of it.
I think it's almost like a drive in ourselves, because we've got sort of various things that we are signalling out of space with various other ways. This could be like a more of a roots up, almost like the artists are sort of making things to sort of signal higher beings. It's just this drive, this impulse to create something of substance. The people who've done it might be saying, it's just a bit of fun, it's an art project. But their subconscious might have driven them to do it, and that triggers, and I don't know why, really, I don't know why I'm doing that.
Do we ever get any pictures of them taken down? Because they are just like a hollow square, aren't they?
I've not seen any pictures of them dismantled.
Which is weird, isn't it? I think, it looks ace, but then when you dismantle it, just...
I think it's very much like it's nothing to see here, but I think the base level of it is, as they described it, it's a hollow chrome or polished metals, sort of like monolith. I think once you've taken it down, you're just going to see plates of metal laid around on the back of a truck being driven away. But the interesting part is the drive to create it. And I think that's what it comes from. It isn't what it's made of, it's what it represents. That's what I think.
Something to chew over there, Arky.
It is, yeah. And hopefully it's not all bollocks.
I bet it is.
So if we have found sort of things out of space and things like that, you know what I mean? How are we going to leave the planet, our kid?
How are we going to leave? I reckon I'd Wallace and Gromit it up, like a big tin.
Yeah.
And then, I was saying that rocket's a bit boring, aren't they?
Yeah.
Anti-gravity, I'd get big magnets and I'd shoot. Yeah, big magnet, and I'd jump, from a skyscraper onto it with negative magnet. The force of me falling down, repelling off that, and then BOOM!
Well,
I'm into space.
Quite interesting, in a way. The reason being is because this is, it's not a stupid thing.
That's a tube. You're jumping into a tube with a magnet at the bottom of it, and I've got magnet feet.
Like a human cannonball.
Yeah.
And I've got magnet feet. But no one knew you'd put them on the other way around. And it'd attract you to the ground even faster. Until you just a blueberry jam. But it's that thing of magnetism's obviously a great force and things like that. But what they're trying to find now is we can't be firing these giant rockets off with just satellites in them.
Yeah.
So they've developed something different. A fucking massive catapult.
Wow. Jesus.
And it will catapult satellites into orbit without any jet fuel whatsoever.
Jesus.
At 10,000 times the force of gravity.
Wow, is it rubber band type catapult? What they do? What they're using?
This thing they're called, right, is from it's like a tech company, right? that's called spin launch.
I was like Acme or whatever it is in fucking Looney
Not
Tunes.
far off, yeah, that's it. So what they're basically doing now, if you were going to use something like, right, imagine, so we're talking about Catapult. The thing we're more like is a slingshot.
Yeah.
Right, so do you know how a slingshot works?
Well, it goes round and then you fling it out, don't you?
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is called the spin launch.
Wow.
So basically what they've got is they've got like a gigantic, I'll show you a picture of it now, I've got your gigs on.
Get my goggles.
Right. So imagine that.
So a little shoved it.
Now, as you can see, it's like a massive drum shape.
Yeah.
Now,
Like
as
a
you
bit
can
tambourine.
see, now as you can see there, there's like a little sort
Oh,
of,
yeah.
right, there's like a little port on the side of
Yeah.
it. So imagine one of those. In fact, a good comparison is, do you know, like the most dangerous thing that you have at fairs, which is that thing like a big drum that you're getting.
Oh yeah, and you stick
and
to
with
the side.
with centrifugal force, it spins
Oh,
and
wow.
sticks it to the side. That's what this is doing.
Wow. So you're repeatedly going around to a speed, and then it'll just go. Jesus.
And it's just going to release. It's going to open this hatch on the side. As it's hit sort of this particular critical force of 10,000 times the force of gravity, open this hatch on the side, fire you into space.
Wow.
Well, not you.
Well,
would be fun.
Well, does it? Wouldn't like that. I hate getting dizzy.
I do as well.
It's
It's
fucking
awful.
horrible.
Fucking
What's all that
awful.
about? Old fairground. Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Well, you remember that worst dizziness I ever had?
It's a normal story. I think it's.
Were you with me? You weren't
No.
it was me and Daniel Mackay, wasn't it? I think we were there. We were in this playground near off our street when we were kids. Hi to Dan Mackay, by the way. He's a good lad, is and it was basically on this roundabout when we were. It's one of those big, heavy sort of 1960s ones, big dangerous ones. You got gravel, loose gravel and glass all over the thing.
Fagging.
Yeah, and it were like that, and we'd got on this thing, and there was a group of about 10 girls.
Oh my God.
Who were a bit younger than us. And we were only in our sort of early teens, so these girls were about sort of 12 or something like that, and they basically sort of said, like, you know, we said, oh, well, why don't we push you, showing off a bit, you know, you get on, girls, we'll give you a push, and that. They were heavy as fuck with this thing, so we're pushing around and pushing around, and go, right, it's our turn. Right, so me and him got on it, right?
And 20 girls started pushing
it around, right? And we were going faster and faster. I said, oh, this is too fast, right? And they just thought this was hilarious. But because of the weight of it, once it got going, they could increase the speed and increase it, and they wouldn't stop. And it was just like that, we're clinging on for dear life, right? And when we got off, it was the sickest, illest, horriblest thing. We were both laying around sort of like retching for hours. We were just fucked.
Fuck that.
And so that's what it'd be like, or being on the spin launch.
Yeah, but luckily it's just satellites shooting
Well, luckily
out.
it is, but then my first thought was, if you've got, how can I put it? If you're using such a huge force, would it not just destroy the satellite? But then I thought, well, these things have to go at a huge force into space as it is on a rocket.
Yeah.
So they're already used.
They've got like an egg round it or something, haven't they? You know.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's all got letters of fucking an egg.
They've got like hatch it up there.
I think it'd be more like a bullet.
Yeah.
I think they'd have it built like a rocket.
It's like a bullet. All right.
Fair enough then, right, okay. I'm not sure how pointy it'd have to be, shall we say. But maybe an egg is actually not a bad analogy.
I think he's a fucking good one. Hatching it might be something else.
Yeah, but for the sake of argument, let's call it an egg, shall we?
Thank you.
Yeah,
That'll be better.
Yeah. Okay. But the great thing is now, they're saying it's like, because we're not using all the jet fuel, we're not using hundreds of tons of jet fuel to get there, but we're also not catapulting off loads of little carrier bits. We're not sort of dropping bits of sort of like weird bits.
So there's a massive rocket like that.
Yeah.
That's a lot of junk in it.
That's a lot of junk. So
money.
we just keep firing these. I mean, to be fair as well, the issue you do have as well is we're still sort of like more cleanly and easily being able to fire more and more and more stuff up into the space. You know, how much stuff do we need up there?
I know, that's what my next question was. What are we doing with it all? We've got telly already, haven't we? You know what I mean? What else do they fucking want to do?
Well, the thing is, a lot... I think there's a lot of... Obviously, satellite navigation's a big one.
Yes.
Right. So
got it.
Right. Yeah, we have got it, yeah. But I mean, I have to say, I for one don't know why we need as many satellites as we have. I don't know
how many Russian papers do you want to read? Go fucking buy one.
Yeah, that's. You know. So I don't know how much we need of this for.
There might be
there's
some
a
other
reason.
tech.
There's so much money.
Musk loves them, doesn't he? And you're right, he might suddenly just say, look, you can watch telly anywhere or something.
Maybe
like
that's what it's for, our kid.
It could be, just like, he just beams it down or something.
Watching a bit of
and
telly.
like, well, I'll tell you all, that's pretty good. Those satellites. Anywhere? I'm swimming in the sea. I'm watching telly. Fucking great. Wow.
Well, I'm going to have to have a fucking inhaler here. Fucking telly, man. Fucking hell. Those cherry cigars I got to... But there's a lot of other stuff going into space. We need to save the rockets, as it were.
Yeah. That's very clever.
It's clever.
That's really clever.
Yeah, I think it's a really clever thing.
Just junk and jet fuel, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's really
just go
fucking clever. Yeah.
And
that's good as like start other things, isn't it? Thinking, wait a minute, let's have another relook at this, you know, because we've been doing this for like 50 years and it's fucking old, isn't it?
Well, it is old tech. I mean, this is technology that was basically started in World War II with Werner von Braun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, it's just a rocket, stick something on the top of it and fire into space. It's just not sustainable, that kind of shit, you know?
I need to change it. I've got a bit of spacey news. You heard about that supernova explosion that's going to happen at any day?
All right,
and it's going to be visible from Earth. You know, this is like, we haven't seen it since like 1700s or something.
Right,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's going to pop and it's going to be beautiful and everybody on Earth will be able to see it. And it's going to last ages, you know what I mean? It'll be like proper ones, not in a lifetime, in like hundreds of years, you know, we're going to see it. Everybody who's on the planet now can like proper see. Everybody's going to see it.
But that's what
time.
happened when, you know, when we saw the Northern Lights were all happening.
Yeah,
I mean, for me, it done half put me in mind of like Day of the Triffids, though.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I've got that other beauty, you know, to me, I saw this shirtless old American man and he's like carrying on and that, but really funny. And he's saying that, you know, we should be we're walking along and he kind of looks at someone, he feels like running up to him saying, listen, we're on the planet at the same time, all of us, you know, now young, old babies, this is our time, you know what I mean, we're sharing it together.
Yeah.
And I thought, God, that's beautiful, but then you get something like that, and everybody's seeing it, we should be thinking more about that, like a celebration, like, you know, like, let's have an Earth party, dudes. You know what I mean?
Are you high?
Always. We should be, shouldn't it? We should celebrate that shit.
I'm in massive agreement with you in this. In the fact that it is about celebrating, it's not always the big things, it's celebrating, you know, just enjoying being alive.
Yeah. More high fives, just random high fives, like, yeah, man, we're sharing this shit.
And living, we're alive, we're not dead, we've done something, we're amazing, it's all amazing. Alright, a lot of people still have the old hard scrabble trying to get things to sort of eat, but it's like at the same time, there's a lot of people doing the hard scrabble trying to get things which they don't need.
Like hot dogs, just get like loads of hot dogs, you know what I mean? Like everybody, you know what I mean? Get chicken hot dogs for Muslims and stuff, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be pork.
That's really progressive of you there.
Everybody have a hot dog, as soon as it pops, it's like, right, let's
hot dog
fucking
time.
Pop a beer.
So let's just to recap.
Yes.
Right. So when this massive nebula thing goes off, we're all going to have a chicken hot dog and a beer.
Yeah. And we prepare now. You know what I mean? We're proper prepared now.
Get the hot dog manufacturer going through the roof.
Exactly. Economies, Aki.
I tell you what, big hot dog are rubbing their hands out there.
Rubbing the dogs. You know what I mean? Everybody get ready now. It should be like a portable thing. You know, like the hot dog comes out hot, but your beer's cold. You know, like a two-way little thing that everybody's got.
Like the yin and yang of consumerism.
Exactly. And then when that baby pops, we all pop together.
It's hot dog time.
Yeah. It's hot dog time. That's it. Oh God, I love you. It's hot dog time, and then we were like, "Woo!" You know, we go all American about it and that.
And what we can call it the hot dog nebula.
Yeah. Oh, man, this is beautiful.
Yeah, we're on something now, aren't
isn't
we?
it? It was
Yeah.
cooking in brine.
Cherry cigars. Cooking in brine? Jesus Christ. So you watch your first, guys. You look out, watch the stars. You wait for the hot dog nebula.
In it, hot dog pop, baby.
Yeah, that's
Keep
it.
your eyes peeled.
Yeah. Fuck me.
Wow, I got into that one. I can see that.
I've got another cheeky return story.
Oh.
So we're not in space anymore, our kid.
Okay,
we're not
right.
in the Nevada desert or anything like that. We're not at any big catapult things slinging satellites
gotta
into
go.
space.
Right.
Back to Japan.
All right.
Like a bit of Japan, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
So apparently, what's happening is now, right? Massive another big, because we had a problem last time we talked about it. Is that at Mount Fuji, too many people are looking at it.
Oh,
aren't
yeah.
there?
The
Too
Fuji
many
screens.
Yeah, the Fuji screens, right? What they've done now is they've got a trouble with over tourism and the danger of people going up to Mount Fuji and climbing the mountain sort of thing at stupid times o'clock. They're just thinking, oh, off we go, let's go climb Mount
And
Fuji.
getting in danger, or they're
Getting in danger.
just dropping litter and shit.
Bit of both. It's
Yeah.
just basically all the hazards of over tourism, but they are saying it is dangerous. People are going up at a certain time, and it's like, there is several
Wow,
hotspots.
it's such a big mountain, it won't be that much of a...
I don't think people are actually sort of thinking about it.
I suppose there's only a few ways... like the ways up, or the national
That's it,
park
yeah.
bit at the bottom.
But what
is
they're
just
also
down.
doing now, which I don't really agree with, since to hike up you've got to pay a fee now.
Right.
And the fee is about 2,000 yen, which is about $12.70.
Yeah.
And an added optional donation of 1,000 yen, which is $6.35. So to go,
1,000 yen's only £6.
yeah, it's
That's
mad,
ridiculous.
innit? Yeah.
We need to start again with money. They need to sort that shit out.
So
That's
a yen's
fucking
about a
stupid.
half a. I don't know what. Not even a half.
We don't. It don't even exist. It's not even there.
Not even there. You're right, kid. You're not saying no wrong.
I'm
Yeah.
fucking ringing him up with that kid who looks after Mountain, whatever his name is.
Yeah, that's it. Having a word with Mayor in Japan.
Yeah.
It gives me. I need
Start
a word with
again,
that.
pal.
Yeah, here's a little word of advice from our Benny.
Yeah.
Just tap it side at nose for your kid. Yeah, start again with
Yeah,
Benny.
exactly. You got 10 fingers.
What
That's all
would
you need, pal.
Yeah.
All
What
them
would you-
thousands.
What would it be called? So we're not having yen anymore then, because yen's obviously it's 1,000 yen. You don't need a
The
yen.
den.
Or even the ben.
Start again. Fingers and toes. The ben.
The ben.
You got it.
You got to start
Hard
with
is
the ben.
it?
1 ben, 2 ben, 3 ben. That's all you need. What's your name? Oh, it's Ben. Right, see ya. Bye.
I'm back home.
Yeah.
Here's a hot dog.
So to sort this shit out, right? Sort this thing, all this thing about Mount Fuji. They built a fuck off gate.
Oh, what?
So they built basically.
This is insane.
They're building walls to stop people looking at it, and they're building a big gate so nobody can get to it now.
Why don't they just build a big quilt and cover it up? What are you
gets to
doing? That's,
So what
how
is-
big's the gate? Like King Kong kind of gate?
Well, no, it's not that massive. So as you can see them building it there. So it's
Well-
basically it's about 6.5 feet tall, 7 foot tall. So you probably
That's
could
a
get
really
over it,
small
yeah.
gate, yeah.
But what it is, it's on. I think they're going to guard it as well.
Yeah.
So what happens is, right, under the new system, as I say in this piece, right, climbers must make a reservation and choose between a day hike or an overnight stay at one of several huts along the trail.
Right.
So then you have to pay this fee, and when you pay the fee on your phone, you get a QR code. So
Yeah.
there's a little sort of reader at the side of the gate.
Yeah.
So as you get to the gate, you can give it a buzz it, gate
Opens.
opens, off you popping up you go. But the gate is going to be locked between 4 in the evening and 3 in the morning.
Was it your mountain? It's a big mountain, is that?
Well, it is a big matter. I think you can get out with your QR code sort of thing,
right,
maybe.
yeah.
I think it's going to be like that. But I think it's to stop people saying if it's 4 o'clock in the evening, you're setting off, you might get yourself in a right bit of fucking mix. You know what I mean? By setting off. You've got to go up in the morning.
I wonder, basically, it just seems like they must have issues like this, it can't be just Mount Fuji, you know what I mean?
Well, the issue you've got sometimes is actually a lot of it is the mindset of the Japanese. The Japanese are very, for example, I mean, they're very much at one with nature as a nation. This is their mindset of things, but they've also made some very, very weird decisions. So they're very much at one with it, but want to control it.
Yeah.
There's a part of the national psyche. So, for example, like, you know, where we used to go on holiday, like Bridlington and Rome and all that sort of stuff, the main thing you notice around there is the erosion of the land.
Yes.
They have a similar problem with erosion in Japan.
Right.
So what they made these gigantic fucking tetrahedrons, what they're called.
Whoa.
And these tetrahedrons are basically the size of this whole sort of, you know, where we are in light, that whole area there. So you're talking about sort of 7 or 8 feet across, and you know, 7 or 8 feet high, that kind of thing, made of solid concrete, like big concrete prongs. So they imagine sort of
like Stormbreaker type shit.
Yeah, that's what it is. But these tetrahedrons, they're locked together, so they can pile them all on top of each other, and they interlock these big thick prongs they've got on them. They interlock together, and so they build this concrete barrier all along the shore. And as such, there's no erosion
And no Godzillas.
Cool. But the other thing is the entire shorelines, miles and miles and miles of shoreline, all you can see is concrete tetrahedrons as far as the eye can see. So the beaches have all been fucked because there's these concrete tetrahedrons everywhere. But because of the mindset of the Japanese, we've saved the land, we've protected the land, that's okay.
Looks
now.
like shit. Yeah, they don't really get it. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished, that's it.
Wow.
They also had another issue with erosion at rivers. Yeah. Now, rivers are meant to erode, they're meant to move, change the tack, change everywhere like that. That's a part of nature. But the Japanese government wasn't dealing with this mentally very well. They were like sort of thinking, this isn't right. How am I going to do this? What they did was they temporarily divert each river, concrete out the base of the rivers, re-put the river in, so they've got these lovely clean flows they can organise and sort out. But obviously it's killing the biodiversity of loads and loads of rivers. They've sterilised thousands of miles of river by doing this.
Well, you've got to look at beavers again, haven't you? Get the beavers, some Japanese beavers.
Get the beavers in.
Get sea beavers.
Sea beavers?
Breed sea beavers. And then you don't need all that country.
Sea beaver bit?
Twice as big as normal. Yeah, you got
if you show me
bigger feet and
bigger feet. Big
and a really big tail.
Really big tail.
Yeah.
How big do you think a beaver is?
About half of you.
Yeah, not far off. Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, it's about half of me. The beavers are big boys. They're a big boy of beaver, very strong, powerful.
Are they bitey teeth and that?
Well, obviously they are as a
they like to bite.
As a rule, they like to bite. They're very bitey.
So you couldn't like pick one up and give it a cuddle or anything.
If one bit you, it'd fuck you up.
I
big
bet
time.
those teeth, man.
It's not just the teeth, because the way the beaver's teeth work is they lock against each other.
All right.
So they go. So for example, let's have a look. They go. We'll just post a picture of beaver's teeth. Yeah. So when they touch, they go like that. They sharpen each other continually, like chisels in a sharpening thing, and they're continually growing.
Oh my god!
So as they're wearing away, they're growing more. If a beaver doesn't chew enough, it'll die because it has to wear down its teeth.
Rats are like that,
that's it. Yeah, bastards. Well, they're both rodents.
Oh, right, that makes sense.
Yeah, they're both rodents. So, but
That's
this is
rodent,
it's a big fuck off rodent. It's a beaver, not the biggest rodent. The capybara.
Oh,
the biggest. Our friend, the capybara.
The friend of everybody.
Yeah,
like
friends of everyone.
Going back to Godzilla though, have you seen the new one?
No.
Oh, Matt! What the fuck are you doing? Watch that.
We'll watch it this weekend.
Oh my
We've been
god,
saving it for when my daughter comes back.
It is the bomb.
Right.
Oh my god.
Oh fuck, I'm dying to see it.
It's so good.
But what I wanted to see the pictures, but I've been waiting for the silver screen version, as in, the silver light version, whatever they call it. Black and white version.
Oh wow.
You know what they did for Mad Max?
Oh, I didn't
Fury
know.
Road. Was it Fury Road?
Oh, they did a black and white. I love that.
Yeah, apparently that's the best one.
Wow.
So there is the black and white version. There's a couple of films they've done this with now, where they've done like the black and white version.
Well, I watched Ripley. Ripley up. I wallowed in Ripley.
I'm gonna
it's so good.
I'm going to be downloading. I'm going to be watching it on my own.
Absolutely beautiful, mate.
Yeah, I'll be watching it on my own at some point.
Yeah, absolutely. yeah.
But it's like, so I want to watch that. I've heard it's a very beautiful film. That's on Netflix. Is Ripley? It's based on Patricia Highsmith's character, which is the talented Mr. Ripley, Tom Ripley.
So
yeah,
good. It's so fucking
I can
good.
highly recommend the audiobooks of Ripley.
Well, I won't mind reading it. I need to see it in print now. So it's see it movie again.
Well, I've got the book. I don't need it. So if you want to take the book away today.
I won't, because I've got about 20 books stacked up that I've got to definitely get through before I read something else.
Yeah,
but even if I went on holiday or something, I'll take you up on that
so
one.
I need to see the I've just had to concede because the black and white version was meant for a UK release and they just didn't do it.
Oh,
the US got a release, Japan did the release. A lot of people preferred the black and white.
You fix it, honestly.
Yeah.
You're quite a way through that movie, and you're thinking, is this at the end? And you think, oh my God, it's just the beginning, really.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm
There's
dying
something
to
I won't give away.
Don't give anything
I'm not
away.
going to give
So
away.
I'll be watching this weekend. What was it? Maybe have a talk about it on the next show.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
And I've watched Late Night with the Devil, and that is fucking rocking, mate.
Yeah,
it's so
that's
good. It's beautiful. It's really good.
Well, as we're sort of leaning into a little bit of TV,
yes.
You know what I mean? But something I'm always late to the party with a lot of films.
Yeah.
I saw Ex Machina.
Ooh,
I don't know if you've seen that. Well, I think it's Deus Ex Machina means something like Ghost in the Machine or the spirit that alters the machine or something. And it's a little bit. I think it's about 10 years old. This film now, you know what I mean? But it's basically there's a tech boss, and he has this sort of incredible sort of like super tech bro pad out in the like Rocky Mountains or something like this, you know. And he has all his staff at his business. One of them wins a prize to go see him. At this result. It's very minimal cast in this, but I won't tell you what's happening. Good. Really good.
Wow.
Really, really, really good.
I like the idea of that.
Yeah, really good. Well, I saw that this week. I saw Interstellar this week, and while it's some amazing ideas and it's fucking ridiculous, and it's stupid in places, very, very good, and you can entertaining.
Yeah, I watched it. All right.
But Ex Machina is it looks like Ex Machina. That's what it looks like. Ex Machina.
What telly format?
I watched it on Prime.
All right. Paid or is it free?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember now. Yeah, but it was very, very good. If it was, I think it was £3.50 or something.
Yeah.
You know. But anyway, we're rattling on as usual. What we need to do is get back to the idea that we know now that the Japanese are tampering a little bit too much.
Yeah. Well, they should be sorting their own fucking money out.
Yeah. Introducing the bed and not the yen.
Exactly.
You know, and because to try and calm things down with another natural feature in the world is Mount Fuji. They're putting a big fucking gate up so you can't go up there easily. Leave well alone. If people want to go up there and die, let them die. It
is,
you know?
Just let them be.
I know when I were in the Lake District, one of the biggest mountains there, it's Scarfell.
Oh, yeah.
And we'd be coming home from the pub at 11 o'clock at night, and you'd see this massive mountain in the distance, and you could see rows of torches, people going up it. There's a thing about night climbing this dangerous mountain. It is a path to it. It's not like you're having to do rock climbing. Yeah. But climbing something like that at night it's a dodgy do.
It should be in pub. What the hell are they doing?
But some people swear by it is because apparently one of the most amazing sights is seeing sunrise on the top of this mountain. You know, it's a little bit like that. But at the same time, don't be risking your life because some poor fucker's got to come up and rescue you.
Exactly. Let someone go up with an helicopter, take a picture, and then put it in pub.
That's exactly right.
You know
what we need, chairlifts.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Chairlift at the top. You can go up, have a little look. You can
really big chairlifts.
Yeah, that's it.
And with a gate at bottom.
With a gate at bottom, yeah, that's what we need to do. Shit, we're turning Japanese, aren't
It is for the springtime when we take the road once more, for the planting and the pearling and the berry fields of Blair. We'll meet up with our kinfolk from all the world around when the gang of big folk take the road and yellers on the broom. When yellers on the broom, when yellers on the broom, and I'll get you on the road again. When yellers on the broom.
Ironically enough, this is about birds.
Ah, nice. I like that.
So this is about a bird, this story, called the Pfeilstork.
Right.
It's a bird called the Pfeilstork. Now, it's a single bird and an incredibly important bird for natural history. Right? And would you like to see a picture of the Pfeilstork?
Well, I'd love to see a picture. I love looking at birds.
Right, and there it is.
Has he got something stuck through it?
Yeah.
What the frig? I don't get it.
So basically, I'll describe to the listeners what it is. It's basically a stalk.
A fancy dandy stalk with
Yeah,
a cane.
Yeah. Well, it's not quite. This stalk in 1822 was discovered, and it landed near the village of Klutz. Right? And everybody around was astonished, right? Because it had a 30-inch spear through its neck.
Oh, is that spear? Shit.
It's a fucking spear through its neck,
Right.
right? And this changed history.
Wow.
Completely changed history, right? Because this stork had landed and thought, oh, the storks have arrived again. What everyone used to think was, before they didn't know where birds were going.
Right.
So, for example, the barnacle goose is a bird which is a migratory bird, and it would disappear. And there's a barnacle goose, and then there's a goose barnacle.
Right.
People believe that these geese would go, and certain times of the year, would go under the water in the sea and turn into barnacles.
Thick fucker.
Aristotle believed that birds metamorphosized,
Wow.
transforming into other bird species, like caterpillars transform into butterflies.
Oh, that's a good image, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
that's
crazy.
the thing. People believe that lots of birds would become hibernated at the bottom of the sea or ponds or streams like frogs or turtles did. They just decided, well, they've disappeared. We don't know where they've gone.
That's it. Birds do change.
Yeah, yeah.
A lot.
now. But what this bird showed was it came and it landed back in Germany in the town of Klutz with an African spear
Fucking
through
hell.
its
Ah.
neck.
I thought you say with an afro. They were Jesus, that's good. How did they know it were an African? Unless someone were a bit of a traveller.
the explorers had been around and found this
Made in Africa on it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, it was African. They knew it was an African spear, right? The spear was made from African wood, meaning that the bird had travelled between the continents.
And that was the light bulb moment for the
That is when,
Klutzes.
the Klutzes discovered what migration was.
Wow.
Isn't
I bet
that-
that's mind-blowing, though, thinking, wait, oh my God, they go all the way there.
Well,
It's still, we talked about it before, it's still mental in my head, is that?
It still doesn't say sort of like it doesn't make sense sometimes. You sort of think, what is the point in travelling for 2,000 miles? But part of me says as well is like if you could just sort of like now just have a right big dinner, right, do a bit of exercise for a month or so, right, and then just sort of climb on top of a shed and jump, and then you could keep going. And you just arrived in Africa, would you?
No. Absolutely not. That sounds awful. Nope, the flying up flies in your teeth and shit like that, and then get all windy and cold up there and scary. Then you land in Africa, like fucking hell. I'm really scared.
Where would you migrate? So
No, just to shops and back. That's all I do. Just
maybe
fly to
maybe
shops.
the Benny is a non-migratory species.
Yeah, absolutely. Just stay home.
If I-
You trust me on that, guys.
Because I've done a lot of long distance cycling, so I knew through my own physical sort of power. I could do sort of 130, 140 miles. Which,
Where do you go, though? With that, you went out, you went home again, didn't you? What's the fucking point of that?
But if I knew that I could, say for example, you're having anything, food's running out a bit, and then you could fly
Oh, somewhere that's
somewhere,
got
and
loads of
there's
food.
loads of dinners,
Yeah. Oh, you tell him.
Hot dogs. All hot dogs had run out, right? And you could fly to Hot Dog Land, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll be going then.
You'd be going there, wouldn't
If there's
you?
somewhere good, I'd go there, but I just can't think
you've
of
got to remember,
anywhere.
a lot of places like this as well, where they're flying to, there's loads of food, and that's where all the mates are. So it's basically girls, beers, and hot dogs is where you fly to.
I'm flying to Vegas. You said that.
Yeah. Right,
That's different. Right, I'm back on it.
You're back on it.
I'm there.
You get to fly to Vegas.
Yes,
Right,
I would fly to Vegas.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's it. Get there, land, clean your teeth, and get on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's basically what it is.
Yeah.
They're going to where the resources and where all their people are as well.
Yeah.
And what they are finding now, though, is there's a lot of birds. There's a lot of things like swallows and things which do migrate to, from Africa to the UK.
Yeah.
Some are overwintering here now. They're not doing it successfully.
Yeah.
But some have obviously decided, you know what? It's not
Bit of an hike, is that?
cold enough. It's a bit of a hike. It's not that cold enough to risk the 2,000 or whatever it is, 2,500 mile migration.
Keep finding Watsits and Tabens and
Yeah,
that.
that's it.
You
It's
can
always
scrape by if you really
Well,
can.
the thing is here, there's always, even like there's all year round, there is some fly species kicking them out all year round now, but all it takes is a frost and it kills it off, and suddenly these birds have nothing to eat, and then they're kind of fucked. But, that's the reason why the
Not
migration...
bird feeders, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but swifts and swallows don't go on bird feeders.
Don't they?
No, they
Just flies, that's
the
all
common
they like.
swift, right, eat, drink and mate, and even sleep while airborne.
What?
Yeah.
They're making sweet love up there, flying about.
That's it, yeah.
How do they do that? They're like
So by
connect.
some of them, the common swifts, right, by the time they touch back down in Scandinavia, they have not stopped flying for 10 months.
Oh, God, just on the wing.
On the wing all the time
Jesus.
for 10 months. Isn't that fucking wild?
That's
Well, I can't think is what they're doing at night.
Flying about.
Well, thanks for that.
That's ridiculous. Surely at night they want to come down and go to sleep.
Well, I'm thinking,
Well, they go around in a circle or something.
I don't know.
You'll
Like
end
the
up
whole
anywhere. That's why they're migrating, because they're sleep flying.
yeah, they just woke up and think, where's the fucking... Oh, it's Vegas.
Cool.
Yeah, let's get down, play the slots and get laid. So we've got a little message from one of our regular listeners here,
Oh,
right?
cool.
A little thing. Unfortunately, I managed to respond yet to our friend Ed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and Ed has been he's been in touch because he was listening to the Leprechaun ones. Or, you know, the little orange guy that was found in, and so basically what he's saying is like a mix of, he says that he's found, what's found here is the case of the Liverpool Leprechauns. That's what he's
And it
discovered.
was near Liverpool, wasn't it? Yeah,
It was Liverpool.
Ah.
It was Liverpool where these leprechauns were discovered, right? So this is during 1985, right, in January the 18th, and it says exceptional things were happening in Liverpool during 1964. So when the Beatles returned to the city on the 10th of July for the premiere of the first film, Hard Day's Night, 150,000 people lined the streets to greet them.
Wow.
Right, but a less well-known fact is that a few days earlier, thousands of children and curious adults went hunting for leprechauns in a Liverpool park.
Wow.
The incident is of interest because of the rapid spread of the rumour, and because it appears that the rumour was restricted to school children and was especially strong among pupils of the Roman Catholic school in the area. According to the Liverpool Daily Post, dated 2nd of July 1964, the leprechauns were first seen on the night of Tuesday the 30th of June. Nobody knew how the rumour started, but one 9-year-old boy told the Post reporter, Don McKinley, that last night I saw little men in white hats throwing stones and mud at each other on the bowling green. Honest I did.
God.
Honest. The centre of this leprechaun activity was the bowling green in Jubilee Park, which is to the east of the city centre in the Edge Lane district. On the second night of the scare, 1st of July, the bowling green was so crowded that the police had to clear the park and guard it from marauding leprechaun hunters who were prone to tear up plants and turf in their search for the little creatures.
God, frenzy.
Yeah. A rather bewildered Irish park constable, James Nolan, who had to wear a crash helmet to protect himself from the children's stone throwing, told the reporter that this all started on Tuesday. How, I just don't know, but the sooner it ends the better. Stones have been thrown on the bowling green, and for the second night running, no one has been able to play. The kids just won't go away. Some swear they've seen leprechauns. The story has gone round, and now we are being besieged with leprechaun hunters.
Wow, it's like Pokemon Go back in day,
Exactly,
innit?
that's it, yeah. Such was the violence of their search that the police had to set up a temporary first aid shelter to treat at least a dozen children who suffered cuts and bruises.
Wow.
The Liverpool Echo and Evening Express for the 2nd of July 1964 described the strange visitors as little green men in white hats throwing stones and tiny clods of earth at one another.
Wow.
The little green men part of the story was possibly inspired by the testimony of a Crosby woman, well, that's part of the north of Liverpool, a Crosby woman who said that on the 1st of July she had seen strange objects glistening in the sky, whizzing over the River Mersey to the city from the Irish Sea.
Wow. And they just get out and start chucking rocks at each other.
Yeah, carrying on alarming. They might have had a row with each other on board, you know. This apparently explained how the leprechauns managed to emigrate from Old Ireland, though it was more likely a tongue-in-cheek addition by the editorial staff in order to make the neat story. So they think it could have been just embellished.
Yeah.
This supposition is supported by the fact that no exact date nor any information about the witness was given, and the local paper for the Crosby district did not report anything of this nature to its readers. It's also worth noting that the leprechaun hunt had already been going on for 2 days before this report was published, so the newspapers cannot be regarded as the originators of this scare. So I don't think aliens were anything involved with it. This is leprechauns.
Yeah,
you know, it isn't anything to do with sort of like some sort of like alien invasion or
little
anything like
green
that.
men
Yeah. This is leprechauns. However, the newspaper reports could well have inspired or fueled a second leprechaun panic in the Liverpool area a few days later. Details of this will be given later. Right, so that's because I'm reading this text out, you know what I mean? The Liverpool leprechauns could have remained in our files as yet another datum of the damned if it had not been for certain revelations published in the 26th of January 1982 edition of the Liverpool Echo. In this report, a man called Brian Jones claimed he was responsible for the scare when he started to tidy his grandfather's garden in Edge Lane, which backed onto the park. He wore some clothes suitable for gardening, which comprised of a red waistcoat, a pair of navy blue trousers, Wellington boots, a denim shirt and a woolen hat with a red bobble on it. As he sucked on his pipe, no doubt reflecting upon his sartorial elegance, he saw some children sitting on the 10-foot-high wall which separated the garden from the park, and he heard one of the children say, "It's a leprechaun."
Wow. Now that is interesting.
Yeah. Realising that his short stature, emphasised by the height of his grandfather's weeds and his extraordinary clothing, gave the children this impression, he decided to capitalise on their words, He decided to capitalise on their deluded perception. So he claims that I bounded into view, babbling made-up words. I jumped up and down, picked up turfs and threw them at the children.
Wow, shit, this is it. And that's just, wow, so the one, yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
This is really
So
good.
I think he definitely was. So the next evening he was again in his grandfather's garden when he heard the noise above the crowd of he heard the noise of a crowd in the adjacent park. Looking over the wall...
Just a complete wind-up merchant, I love him.
Looking over the wall, he saw 300 children on top of a covered reservoir, which gave them a good view of the bowling green. On seeing him, they shouted, "There he is! There's a leprechaun!" 300
Oh my
children.
God.
However, the children remained where they were, so for the next hour... Brian entertained them by angrily shaking his fist and tossing turfs into the air. Fucking Brian.
Wow.
Guys,
he's a scamp.
He is, isn't he? A weapon,
I love
fucking
him.
Brian.
But that'll just, the fuel of that.
So afterwards, he changed his clothes and visited the park to find out the reaction to his leprechaun impersonation. Here he found children boasting they had seen 2 leprechauns, although some had to top this by saying they had seen 6 or more. The next day, a Saturday, according to Brian. He's over the moon, Brian.
Yeah.
Crowds of children and adults went to the house in Edge Lane in search of the little people. Despite the efforts of the police, the crowds did not disperse until after 11. And in the next 2 weeks, children raided the garden in their search for the little people, causing damage to a shed and the garden itself. And things came to a head with Brian overheard 2 boys saying they'd planned to shoot the leprechauns with an air rifle and put the bodies in jam jars. You know?
Brian!
So it was at this point, I think Brian decided he had something had to be done. So for the next few evenings, he put... Oh, fucking hell, Brian. At this juncture, Brian decided that something had to be done. So I thought, right...
Yeah, he's putting it close to it. Yeah.
So for the next 3 evenings, he put on his leprechaun act in front of the garden's empty house 6 doors from his grandfather's home.
To get it all the bother to someone else?
Yes! A silly prick. So this did the trick so effectively that within a couple of months, the city council had to demolish the house because of the devastation caused by leprechaun hunters.
But were people in that house?
No, it was an empty house. That's why they thought, I'll pick this house, I'll go do it there. So no, they completely fucked this house and they had to flatten it. But a lot of people think that what he did was only part of it. They're thinking, actually, all that time, it wasn't just Brian. There was more to it. I'm not so sure.
I'm not. He's done it.
Yeah. Or the issue you have sometimes is you got somebody like Brian who might say...
Yeah, after the event.
So here's Brian. He's seen a little bit of a buzzing area going on and stuff.
Oh, it was me.
Yeah. And he's obviously... Right, I'm going to put it out here. I'm guessing. I think Brian's single. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's just...
Well, I'm going to go further. I think Brian's a wrong un.
Dresses like a leprechaun, looks like a leprechaun, acts like a leprechaun, nonce.
It's the age-old format, Archie.
But the thing is, it seems odd that the newspaper description of the leprechauns do not tally with Mr. Jones's description of his elegant outfit.
Yeah, waistcoats and red
None of the
hats.
children noticed his red waistcoat, the red bobble on his hat, his navy trousers or denim shirt. The 10-foot high wall is of interest too. How do you get up it if you're a kid? You know?
Yeah, he's high, that.
It can't be the easiest thing to get up, right? Or for Mr. Jones to get up either, because he's a little guy with wellies on.
Yeah.
So he's you know. And it's also difficult to understand why the children on the second day did not approach the wall in large numbers and scale it in order to catch the leprechaun. The children of Liverpool are not normally that shy. Furthermore, all of the children's reports speak specifically of leprechauns on Jubilee Park and the bowling green. There was no mention of any sightings in private gardens, and many of the children said they saw more than one creature. A search through 2 Liverpool daily newspapers for the period covering July, August and September did not reveal any more of the reports of leprechauns seen in the neighbourhood of Jubilee Park. So, that's the thing. I think what Brian's done there, I think he's woven himself into the fabric of the tale. I think, obviously, first things first, we need to clear up, yes, Brian is a nonce.
Luring children to his garden shed.
And I think, and as well, right, if you're a kid, right, and you're seeing stuff carrying on and all that kind of thing, right, how big's a leprechaun?
Yeah.
It's not 5'2".
Exactly. Plus, you're right about the garden. Garden's key. Everybody be in his garden, not in the park.
And they rushed over and fucked him up if they thought he'd been in a jam jar by now,
yeah, exactly. Several hundred jam jars.
But that's another thing. They said they want to put it in a jam jar. This is a full-grown bloke. And all he's doing is wearing wellies, a fucking red waistcoat and a hat.
It's not
he's talking about his blue trousers, right? Jeans. Denim shirt, jeans. It's fucking double denim. He's not a fucking weirdo.
Going out in his denim suit.
Yeah. Nonce.
Like all double denim wearers.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that one in Scotland when they're looking for that vampire in that park.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, but it's that whip-up of it. And then, the kids are getting really behind it. You're right. I don't think Brian's involved in this. He's just on coattails,
I think he's on the coattails, yeah. I think basically what he's done is woven himself into the story to get a bit of attention.
Yeah.
I think he's a bit of a fantasist.
Yeah.
He's like, what they've seen is they've seen me.
My fancy outfit.
Yeah. I had that this weekend myself, and it was like there was a a young lass had come to my stall this week, and she wanted advice on becoming an artist and stuff like that, and her parents were listening in really intently, and I was giving advice and saying, because she thought it'd be really hard, almost impossible to become a full-time artist. I said, no, if you don't, pick a medium that you like working with, master that medium, work like this and all this. I'm giving her advice, and then suddenly this fucking voice booms in, right? And this bloke says, that's right, what you need to do is you need to find an art form that you love and do it, and he starts booming. I'm thinking, and I looked up, right, and there's this gigantic silly fat cunt, right? And there he is in his little fucking Star Wars t-shirt, right, wearing a gigantic homemade leather hat. And he was a leather worker. I don't care if he comes on me on this. This guy was some sort of leather worker. He taught himself leather work. He thought he was the fucking dog's bollocks. He barged his way through the crowd to the front, got his fucking phone out, and started showing this girl pictures of all the work he'd done. He was just an attention seeker. He'd forced himself into the narrative, not because he wanted to offer any advice or help. He wanted
rush straight. I can't wait for it to be all about me.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. All about me, right? And I just went quiet then. I just sort of said, right, I'll go do my own thing, sort of stuff. Because I've got a thing now, don't engage. People don't engage because you'll be there all day with them.
He's vampires,
yeah. And that's all he wanted to do was make it all about himself and be the big I am in the midst of all this, showing about his leatherwork and what he does and everything like that. And he's trying to then engage me and trying to get in and sort of say, well, it's always like that. And I'm thinking, no, not having any, And he's trying to then tell me my job, saying, oh, well, this part of your job's good, it's that printing bit, so that's the shit bit, isn't it? And I put him straight. It's it's an art. That's he just wanted to be, I know everything, in front of his family and be this big thing. And that's why he was wearing the fucking gigantic leather hat. Because he's look at me.
Yeah. And he's got leather underpants on and everything. Another wrong one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Story's full of them.
Big leather hat, nonce.
Well, like a flat cap. What kind of hat was it?
Oh, imagine like a leather top hat.
Oh, God.
Like a steampunk style leather top hat, right? Yeah, absolutely, But that's what I think Brian's been doing in this story, to be honest. All he's done is
rush to the front.
He's wanting to say, look at me. Doesn't know how to get attention because he's not used to getting it. He can't do it off his own merit. All he can do is pretend he's a fucking leprechaun.
Remember that one with Argentina where we saw those...
Yeah,
there's little things out. Yeah, those little things are out there, aren't they? All right, we hadn't... in Irish folklore, in every folklore, the little people in it.
That's exactly right.
It's like, like a big monster. They don't look right clever, do they, most of the time, big monsters? But little fucking gnomes and that, you think they're out.
Little things screaming and scolding. But then again, look at every culture. Every culture's got little people, invisible people, hidden people. They've got fairies, leprechauns, gnomes, boggles. That's exactly it. Every culture has them. Same as dragons. There's something in all these cultures where there was something little, and we don't know what it was. And I just think, for me, if somebody said, we think I've seen this little person and seen the little thing moving about and it looked like I just think you might have.
Well, yeah, it's possibility.
Yeah, it's something that you can't research easily. It's not something you can put in a net or a jam jar. You can't shoot with an air rifle. You're not going to get one of these little creatures and put it in a jar. They appear somehow. And I don't know what it is. If you say, well, what is it, Matt? I ain't got a clue. But people are seeing them. And I think these accounts are pretty valid. Remember the mad one of the little cars buzzing around the park? Driving it.
Yeah.
That's still, to me, one of the most compelling pieces of high strangeness I've ever heard about. You're absolutely right as well, comparing this to the Glasgow vampire scare where they're all in the graveyard, tooled up with knives and shovels and all sorts, ready to kill. This is the same thing. They've seen something. It's grabbed hold of the public's imagination, the kids' imagination. They've gone wild.
Whipped up to frenzy levels.
Yeah. But there's not an awful lot of difference between that, though, and 160,000 people turning out to see the Beatles. Because what you're going to see of them, you're going to stand in a frenzy, screaming as they drive past in a car, waving, gone.
The shit anyway, Beatles. Fucking monkeys were well better.
Yeah, they were loads better, weren't they? I mean, it's like... The fucking Kinks shat all over them.
They did, didn't they? I don't know what the deal is with fucking Beatles. I never liked them.
No, the middle of their own arse.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, any Beatles fans, if you want to get on with their Spooky Hunt, just...
bring it on.
Well, I'm afraid that was actually the last story. Usually,
you normally warn us,
I normally give you a warning for that one, you know what I mean? But we're out of time.
I'm starving anyway. Fancy fish and chips?
How about hot dogs?
Oh, aye! Hot dog time! Oh, no, false, it's not happened.
It's not happened yet, no.
Yeah,
but what I'm thinking, what we might have to do, we might have to wheel light back in Aiken, because I'm seeing a lot of ships getting close to them rocks at the moment.
I don't think it's a clever move taking this. It's roomy up here.
It's roomy. It's very
proper
roomy. It's also
really
a little bit chilly with all this glass. What we need to do is,
yeah.
I think we should get ourselves back downstairs, bite fire today. Because
it.
although it's summer, it's still a little bit on the cool side.
It is, it's chilly still, isn't it?
And
What a shit summer this is.
And I think in that room there, you can get your feet up, have a little nap. I'll do a little bit of art and stuff like that. Have a bit of music.
I like that.
And let's
Could do
just
with
have
a
a nice
snooze.
little-
Yeah,
little
a few hot
snooze
dogs
for
and
you,
a snooze.
A few hot dogs and a snooze.
Oh, wow.
And that's what we reckon you should do as well, guys. It might be a veggie hot dog.
Yeah.
Might be chicken hot dog.
Exactly.
Might be one made of arseholes and lips. Whichever's your preference. But have a hot dog on us, our guys.
Oh,
so
yes.
all it remains for me to say now is a big bye-bye from Matt.
And it's a bigger bye-bye from Benny. You guys, take care.
There are 3 ways you may contact Kraken Cove. Either by email at krakenCovePodcast@gmail.com, on Twitter at Kraken Cove, or Instagram at Kraken Cove Pod. Ha ha!